Hey, how's it going? It's Jordan Miller, and this is my Week 6 journal. So today we're going to hit a little bit about how to maximize your appearance in a professional context. We could kind of go a couple different ways with this. I'm going to go with physical appearance. We'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get on to the rest of it in a second. I think maximizing your physical appearance really has to do with not only dressing to your audience and the environment, but dressing to your speech and your context or content rather as well. So if I'm going to be in a professional environment and I'm going to be like say a professional symposium, okay, I'm probably going to dress up, probably going to have a suit, a tie, something along those lines, something that looks a little bit more professional. I'm not going to show up in shorts and a t-shirt or sweatpants and a pair of Vans, okay, unless I own Facebook and my name is Mark Zuckerberg and I'm a multi-billionaire, and then I can do that. All right, but you wanna look the part, and so especially in a professional context, okay, a lot of your credibility comes from just how you look and how you present yourself, and so that's a really big thing in professional context. As far as developing, how do you develop effective mannerisms? I think a lot of that is natural, to be honest. As far as developing them, I think the biggest thing is taking critiques from people. In this class, I've done a lot of, I haven't had a lot of people around to critique me. So I've actually just been videotaping myself and kind of critiquing myself, taking the critiques that I get from the grades, from the outlines and the speeches and things like that, and trying to change it up a little bit. I do the same thing at work as a kickboxing instructor. I try to get critiques from my other instructors, not so much from members because that kind of blurs the line between instructor and member. Then they think they get a little bit more of a say of how things go. So we don't want to blur that line for sure. But I definitely get it from my peers, from my superiors. I ask constantly to get that stuff checked out. And that kind of bleeds over into how to develop effective vocal behaviors as well. I think practicing is how you get those good vocal behaviors. I think really sit down and evaluate what it is that you want to drive home. What are your big main points? Where are you going to get the most emotion or the most response, and figure out kind of how to change that tone a little bit. Really good use of audible pauses is something that I saw in a lot of the TED Talks, a lot of the discussion boards this week. I think that some of those had really good uses of audible pauses and that silence to really let that audience kind of soak in what they just said and increase the effectiveness for sure. Why are appropriate nonverbal skills vital to effective presentation? I think if you have nonverbal skills that are distracting, it takes away from the content that you're putting out, and then it really doesn't matter what you say at that point. If I'm sitting here talking and I'm kind of doing this and I'm not looking at you, or I'm just like bam, 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 all right, what I'm doing is more distracting than what I'm saying. So the content that I'm putting out there isn't reaching its maximum effectiveness. So if I have appropriate nonverbal skills, so I sit here, I look professional, I have different things going on that don't detract from the actual words and the content that I'm saying, it goes a long way. Okay, now that's not to say that you have to just sit here like this the whole time and not move. Okay, you can definitely use nonverbals to your advantage. Okay, walking around with good posture makes you look a little bit more professional. So little things like that go a long way. I think that nonverbals are one of those things that some people kind of overlook. And once you get into that point where you're comfortable talking, you should definitely start looking at your nonverbals, because it can go a long way as far as getting your point across. So that was it for my journal. We went a little bit long in week 6, but thanks for listening.